what we have here is a pretty shoddy looking bot. I don't know about you, but this certainly doesn't seem viable, and there's a few parts that are just floating in the air. But fortunately, here is one that I prepared earlier. And in it, we can see this front steering part. And it attaches to the servo motor. And then the servo motor turns this plastic 3D printed piece. So then the ball bearing can turn. And then the Wheelie Good Bot can steer left and right. The main reason that I did it this way was simply so that I can show you how to attach things to a servo motor. So let's do that now. Bam! It's a pretty complicated piece, really, but let's start. I'm going to make a new component for it, and I'm going to call it, how would you describe that part? Maybe I'll call it front wheel holder? I guess this is assuming that it is the front wheel and not the back wheel. Does it make sense to be the front wheel or the back wheel? I don't know, probably doesn't really matter. Let's call it the front wheel holder. And I will right click and isolate. And let's start drawing, where is it? This, there we go. So we want to draw this part first, I think. So let's go here, make a new sketch. So it goes like bam, and then bam, and then bam, and then bam, enter. Yeah, something like that. So that was using the line tool, click on the line tool, click, 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 and then it's done. But hang on, this one is thick. This one is not thick. We can fix that. Finish sketch. I'll show you a new tool that we can use. If I try to extrude this, it won't work because it's not a closed shape. It's just three lines joined together. It's not closed. But we can make a surface. So let's click here and extrude it to make a surface. A surface is different from a solid because it is infinitely thin. It has no volume. There's nothing inside it. I'm going to extrude it that way, but also if I go to a direction and go symmetric, then it will go both ways as well. There we go. Neat. Okay, but we still have the problem that it is infinitely thin. It is a surface. It is not a solid. To fix... Oh, that was not Oscar the dog. That one was Ollie. You can let me know which one you think is the better dog, which one is the more annoying dog. It is very tight competition. Anyway, so I have this surface. To make it into a solid, I can go create, thicken. There we go. And then click on it. And now you can make it thick, just like this part. And in fact, that's how I made this part. Oopsie, double click to change it. Rather than just going on the outside or the inside, you can go direction symmetric, and that will fatten it up from both sides. I quite like making things symmetric, mainly because then my original part is in the middle. Anyway, that should be good. Okay. We need a few more things. We need this shaft here. This ball bearing, it's an 8mm ball bearing. And just to check that, I can go to the inspect tool and inspect this cylindrical hole here. And sure enough, it's an 8mm hole. So let's go in here and make an 8mm shaft. In fact, this 8mm shaft. Let's go back into solid, click on create sketch, make it here. I'm going to make a circle, so you can click on center diameter circle at the top, or you can press the letter C. Boop, boop. Escape. Now this is obviously wrong because, look, it's not in the middle. I did that on purpose because then we can add a constraint, vertical, click on there, and now they are vertically aligned. Escape. The other problem is that it's not exactly 8mm. So we can create a sketch, create a sketch dimension, and then click on this circle and tell it what the diameter should be. Click. The diameter should be 8 millimeters. Escape. I don't have the height constrained, but that's okay. We'll just put it where we think is good. Maybe there. Do you think maybe this thing is too big? It does look quite big, doesn't it? Let's extrude this and see what it looks like. Extrude this circle out. It needs to go far enough out that it can go underneath the servo motor. So then the ball bearing here is exactly in line with the servo motor. So yeah, that's plenty, I think. And the ball bearing would go here. I reckon that will work. If you did want to change it, you could double click on the original sketch here and make things a little bit smaller. If you want to, and then go finish sketch. That does mean, of course, that this also needs to move. So I can double click on this sketch and move the circle. There you go. And that means that this is still a little bit long. So I can double click on the extrude. But you don't have to do this. You just do it to whatever looks right to you. Wonderful. Okay. Getting something that's looking similar, aren't we? Now we need this hole here. I'm going to, in fact, right-click on this and isolate. And I know that you don't have this finished model, but I'm just doing this so that I can remember what the dimensions are for this hole. If I click on inspect, which is up here, let's inspect the size of this. So this hole is 2 millimeters. And this hole is about 6 millimeters. So let's go back here, go to create sketch, and right here, just to show you where I clicked, create sketch. I want to create a sketch on this surface because that is where I will put my holes. So create sketch right here. And I want a hole that was 2 millimeters and a hole that was 6 millimeters. This is not in the center, but again, I can just click on horizontal vertical constraint, click on the middle of the circle, click here, press escape, and now this is dead center. Let's move around. Yes. If you've got parts that are in the way like that, this part is on top, you can model on an angle, is fine. Finish sketch, extrude. Let's make the small hole that goes all the way through. And then let's make, I can't select the large hole because the sketch is gone. The sketch will disappear when you make a part from it. So let's go here, turn on that sketch, make it visible, extrude, there we go. And now this only went part way. It needs to go almost to the bottom. So maybe, I don't know, like that, I guess. 1 millimeter away, 2 millimeters away, will be fine. And then turn off the sketch. The reason that we made this, or that I made this, was because the servo motor has a screw. And that screw goes through here. This servo motor actually includes a lot of parts. If I expand it out, it includes, actually maybe I might show them one at a time so you can see what they are. This first one is the body. This second one is it's called a servo horn, a little plastic bit you can put on it. This one is another one. This one is another one. This one is the screw. And these are the 2 screws that go down the side. So, in other words, this part here, delete. Oh, maybe don't delete. That's okay, we'll just show the features that we want. We want that screw, and we want that screw, and that screw. We don't want these 3 servo horns. Anyway, so yes, this screw needs to go through the hole. But hang on. There's the hole. There's the screw. How can we align them up? And of course, I could go to the Move Copy tool, go to Components, and then, painstakingly position this in exactly the right position. But that's very annoying. Let's just go click on Joint, and then click on the bottom of this hole here. You can hold Control so that you can actually click on the top there. And then go in here and align that up to the middle of this circle. Cool. That goes the other way around though. Flip. There we go. Okay. Wonderful. Neat. So it looks like, yes, the screw will go through this part here and screw into this rotating part of the servo motor. All right. I think that is just about done for now. The next step, in the next video, we'll be adding a ball bearing around here and attaching this servo motor to the chassis. All right, until next time, see you everyone.